Alright, so we've got our ball today and our stretchy band. You don't have to use the ball, you can just be seated in a chair if you want to, but as you know, I'm a bit passionate about this ball. This is just a little bit of work around strengthening the legs and the shoulders, and the stretchy band is what we're going to be using as resistance today. If you don't want to use the stretchy band, you don't have to. So for a start, we're just going to warm up the hips. We're rolling the hips under, rolling them back the other way, scooping into our tummy, and as usual we're always thinking about extending or lifting the ribs high out of those hips. Doing a little bit of side to side movement. Now again, knees aren't doing any work, it's just the hips that are moving, and as you can see that my torso is staying stable. And we're just going to roll those hips one way, back in the other direction, and again the movements to be happening through the pelvis, through that lower spine. Nicely done. We'll go back the opposite direction. Good work. Well done. Then just waking up everything else, coming into our marching leg. So lifting our leg up. I like to hold on. You don't have to. You can do it with no hands. Trying to stay as balanced as we can. So this is just waking up our legs a little bit. Waking up through the core. Nice and easy. Well done. Last one either side. Super simple, nothing too exciting. Alrighties, from here we're going to be taking our lateral raise. So you do have an option for resistance, or for a start, if you need just to warm up those shoulders, we're going to be lifting the arms up to shoulder height so they're out to the side. So lateral, wrists are staying nice and straight, they're not flipping down or doing anything too exciting, and then we're going to lower down. Okay, this is working the muscles over the cap of the shoulder. So, and it's also working kind of as part of that team and around your armpit. So I really want you to be really focused on controlling the lower, bringing some awareness around those arms. Remember how we've talked previously about the shoulder, trying to avoid it from rolling forwards. We're going to really think about kind of tucking that arm bone into the back of your jean pocket as you lift up. So if you'd like to add resistance, depending on how long your strap is, pop in your strap underneath your foot or feet if you've got one on one side. We can lift up. I like to bunch the strap in my hand so it stops me from twisting at my wrist, but you can hold the strap in any way, shape or form. So you can have your wrist out sideways, which will work different group of muscles to if you have your palm downwards. So as you're getting introduced to this, feel free to kind of swap around and try it out. You can do two at the same time as you're lifting and lowering. So we're looking for 6 at the moment of these. Keeping your head up, we're not pushing the head forwards in any way, shape or form. Still sitting on the ball now, coming into our back activation. So we're again wanting our wrist nice and straight, so keeping space at the wrist and at the thumb. Pulling out on the strap, we're going to be lifting the strap up above our head, and then we're going to lower it down. Okay, so keeping the strap nice and strong, keeping the backs of the shoulders engaged, drawn downwards and towards one another. Keeping our core nice and strong. As you can imagine, if you do want to add some challenge, you can be thinking about lifting one leg up as you do that. From here, coming into another back exercise, holding the strap. Again, you can go for any angle. I'm going to gently pull outwards, squeezing the back of the shoulders together, maintaining the head in the same line, keeping the wrist straight as we close. Okay, if you want to hold your thumbs upwards, it will change the muscle dynamics a little bit, so it's not a bad thing. Just be making sure that we're not dropping in through the thumb side of the wrist and that we're not dropping the hand in. And again, we are working for 6 of these, and you can play with those different angles. From here, we're going to be lifting the strap up into our lat pull down. So keeping the wrists long and wide, we're going to open the arms, squeezing the elbows in towards our sides, and then come back into center. So we're pulling down and open, and then releasing back into the center. So pulling wide and down. Okay, so that's our little bit of shoulder work. From here, we're working again on the back. We're going to be lying on our tummy on top of the ball. Hands and feet, squeezing our tummy, shoulders nice and comfortable. Head, imagine that there's a string pulling your head up to the ceiling. We're going to try lifting one arm in the opposite leg. If you want to add challenge, we can look at lifting 2 legs and 1 arm, or 2 arms and 1 leg. Or if you want to see if you can get into a Superman, see if you can lift those 2 legs and 2 arms, okay? 6 of each, that's a set, and you can go around and do that 2 to 4 times. Awesome. Oh, I nearly forgot our squats. So remember that we do have our squats with our ball behind our back. Imagine that there's a wall against me, and we're going to be leaning back, coming down. Now, in that depth of your squat, let's see if we can use the couch. There we go. We're going to see if we can stay here, and we're going to see if we can start to lift one leg up into our march, okay? So really working through core, balance, leg strength here. If that feels too hard, remember how we have just started on the heel lift, so we can always make that for a start. So see if you can get up to 6 on each side before you come up and have a rest. Well done.